Hello everybody at Game Replays and now YouTube as well. This is Tommy and I'm back with another shoutcast for you guys. This is not a beta game, this is a 2.601 standard retail patch game. And it's featuring two very good players and we're supposed to be seeing some pretty epic comebacks among other things, and super heavies and KTs and all sorts of cool stuff. Playing for the Axis we have PepsiTrustReloaded. Most of you guys who frequent GR will know him. He lurks around, posts a lot of really nice replays. And AufGehts, who I can only assume is a Smurf. He'll be playing for the US. So today, as I said, playing on longer. Everyone knows this map. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just going to kick this off in the 10-second mark. And we're just going to be seeing very normal starts, nothing too out the ordinary, but it's always interesting to see what different spins people put on this map. I mean, pretty much every different strategy that can be tried has probably been tried in this patch, 2.601 at least, but I don't know, in the beta patch things are looking pretty good. If you don't know about the beta patch, a lot of stuff is getting changed, particularly in respect to Wehrmacht Tier 1. You can now get MGs that come out a bit quicker, I think, and they cost a bit less. They cost something like 250 manpower in the beta. The beta's now finished, or at least the, I mean, it's still running, but all the gameplay changes that are going to be made have now been made. So, yeah, it's looking really good. It's going to be the most balanced version of COH since 2.3. 2.3. Those were nuclear pineapples. And so we just got some players coming out here, and our first Volk squad on the field, just beating the rifles out by a second or two. And so they're going to be probably having our first engagement within the next minute or so, as both teams come towards the middle, and they're going to be seeing each other capping and all sorts. I think the US player here has actually misclicked. This is a fatal error I always make myself. When you misclick next to a resource point and you actually forget to start capping it, it's always a pain in the ass. Over here we got the fuel point being taken, and this medium munitions now as well. Probably be seeing our second rifle squad out within the next few seconds as well. And here we go. This is probably going to be our first engagement, or maybe not. Taking VPs early is something that you don't see too often, because VPs don't really count for very much in the early game, not when both players are starting with 500 VPs. But as we can see, both players are actually going for early VPs, so I guess the Wehrmacht player felt slightly obliged to grab this middle VP, seeing as he has now been ticked down to 490 points, so just giving the American player a 10-point lead there. So his rifles just gassing themselves, giving themselves some nice LOS there, no doubt. Oh, excuse me, no doubt, but we're going to be seeing our first engagement here at long range with these Volks. Volks almost always come out on top at long range, but and we got an MG42 in support as well, which is going to cut off any sort of flanking maneuver on those Volks there. The second rifle squad has actually moved off to the left-hand side, where it's going to be chasing off this Pioneer squad in no time at all. Now that those rifles have actually penned themselves inside that building, they've actually allowed their cutoff to be taken by this Volk squad, who's now cut the Wehrmacht player off from all of his big fuel up here, and that medium munitions, although he's continuing. Sorry, no, that's the American player who's been cut off, who's continuing to just cap up here and decap these fuel points up there. American player is also decapping this left side, and he's got a nice firm grip on this +10 over on the left-hand side as well. So all in all, looking pretty good for him. A bit of wire being put down near the American cutoff as well. He's just blocking off the use of those sandbags, and that's really, really nice strategy. Putting wire on that side of cover, like sandbags and haystacks and sandbags, is a really, really good strategy, because it means that if those rifle squads manage to run up there, he will not be able to take cover behind that green cover. You can see there, he'd get stopped by the wire in the way. Got rifles coming in to flank. The MG42 is resetting up, and he's facing a bit of an awkward angle. Oh no, he should be fine. Point blank range. This is really going to hurt those rifles. They need to retreat very fast, or they're going to get mopped up. Oh god, they are taking an absolute beating. But MG repacks up. Bit of a flank coming in here. But MG42 I think is going to set up just in time. Oh no, the rifles got blocked by their own retreating men. Now that's what you call an early nade. We're only 4 minutes and not even 30 seconds in, and we see our first nade, an upgrade from the barracks, and it nearly killed an MG42, which might not be able to make it out of it. There he goes. That's 260 or so manpower that he's just lost there. His second MG42 is now out on the field as well, but losing an early MG42 is really, really bad, especially because the gun is obviously no longer there for him to recruit either. Bit of flank going in here though, nothing he really needs to worry about. Engineers aren't going to do that much damage to him, but he still retreats anyway. And now the American player is the one stealing the cutoffs, and he's going to be decapping this point, taking away almost all of the Vermont resources, especially this nice big +10 fuel in the middle. So that was a really, really unlucky for the Vermont player to lose his stuff on retreat there. Not looking so good for him. He did quite well with the MG micro to keep it alive at first and make sure he kept on turning it, but that early nade really surprised him. And it's quite nice to see fast nades, because it's not a strategy that you see too often, because you do really have to capitalize. Basically, you have to capitalize on your first grenade, otherwise your opponent is going to be really looking out for it later on in the game. And of course, you know, it's a fairly expensive investment, coming at something like 20 or 40 fuel, I forget which one. We've now got a sniper out from the Vermont player, which in conjunction with the single MG42, unless he plans on making a new one, is going to be quite a nice combination, especially with the Volks there as well, just for the capping. But an MG42 is just makes for perfect pairings with a sniper, because the sniper can bait rifle squads back into the MG42, which will no doubt be charging him as soon as the sniper rage kicks in, which normally comes after you get to about 15-20 kills or so. That's when the sniper rage really begins to kick in. Got some mines being laid by those pioneers here in plain sight of these rifles, so if they're smart, they won't be going over there. That was a grenade, just went off and killed a couple of those Volks there. Not so great for him, but as you can see, these rifles are going to have a pod shot here on the sniper. They're going to chase him. Oh no, a pioneer squad is lost by the Vermont player. That's not what he wanted to see. MG42's reset up, but now these rifles are pushing in, and that's another nade, but it's a bit of an overthrow. Still, the blast radius manages to get one guy, and reduces the health of the squad quite significantly. But this is really not looking very good. And that's another nade, very nicely placed. Oh, gives 4 guys, and he's going to lose this Volk squad. Yep, there he goes. This is looking horrible for the Vermont player now, really horrible. He's lost a Volk squad and an MG42, and this is just not looking good for him at all. And now he might even lose his sniper with a Jeep coming there, but he didn't fancy a base rush. Probably just a little bit too much support. Probably would have lost it, especially if the sniper had garrisoned himself inside a bunker or something like that. But altogether, not looking very good for the Vermont player, who's now pretty much penned inside his base with virtually no resources. And these fast nades have really worked very well for the American player, really putting a heavy manpower drain on him, and this is a really good example of the early nades working extremely well. That sniper's going to get decloaked, and he's very low health as well. He should probably retreat. The Jeep's going to die though. He's turning around. He might get a lucky crit here, maybe? No, there we go. MG42 from the base MG takes him out. However, that's a small penance for losing an MG42 and a Volk squad, which he has now just remade as well. And he just popped medkits on his sniper there, because he's obviously very low health right now. And yeah, so we can see from the attack map, it's just a sea of red. And I know that if I was the Vermont player, I would not be a happy bunny right now, because he does not know what's rolling out now. I mean, there's a supply yard coming up, and if we check out the resource situation for AufGehts, he's got 84 fuel, which is by the time that he's that was another nade, I think, but I think he might have dodged it. Whoa! Rifle squad hits the mine that he was running into, that he saw being placed earlier on in the game. Obviously, we have a little bit of a forgetful American player. Might even lose a rifle squad here on retreat. Oh, very lucky that none of those shots connected there. But we have a threat to our and he's getting so desperate for capping. He's actually capping VP with his sniper now, which is often risky business. But as I was saying before, the American player before he bought something, which I assume is stickies or bars. Yeah, that's bars. Before he built that, he could have really put a KO down, and he could have built himself a tank depot. With this nice plus 43 fuel, he could have had a Sherman out well before there's any sort of major AT on the field. But who knows, maybe bars will be even better, especially considering that there's only one MG42 on the field right now. And he's also upgrading to flamers as well. Kind of late. He's been spending a lot of munitions on getting those nades out. So, not too surprising that he hasn't had a whole lot of munitions to spend on mines and flamethrowers. So he's just bought bars. The player now knows this. And that means that the rifleman Volksgrenadier combat is really going to be tipped in American favor now. MG42 is resetting up. The sniper's in a very bad way. He's very, very close to his barred rifles. One good burst is going to finish him off, and there he goes. Down goes the sniper, and that's bet 2 for the rifles, which gives them a little bit of suppression resistance. As you can see, they ate a good couple of bursts there at very close range before getting suppressed. But that's another horrible, horrible blow for the Vermont player now. That's another nade! Oh, and 2 more guys go down there. It landed right on top of him, and he's very lucky he didn't lose the whole squad. But he needs to pack that up very quickly, or he's going to lose that too. Just manages to get away there, but that was a very close thing. This really isn't looking good for the Vermont player. I know that death of that sniper probably would have been enough to make me rage quit if this was me. But luckily, this isn't me, and Pepsi is obviously made of sterner stuff. He is willing to stay in the game despite this now sea of blue, and fairly significant presence from the American player. I mean, he's free to just sort of sit around and camp all this area, and put up mines and wire and all sorts. I think this rifle squad's trying to get a nade off, but he's getting so wasted in the face that MG might not be able to. But there he goes, down it goes. MG42 is decrewed. I was about to say that the MG42 bunker might not actually reach that MG42 if he wanted to protect it, and it doesn't. But he's now building another bunker to cover his base. He'll probably turn that into like a med bunker or something like that. We've also got that sniper now. It's been remade with 2 kills now. So, I mean, a huge, huge manpower drain for the Vermont player. I don't know how he's affording to remake all of these expensive troops, but he is, which is the important thing. And he's just remanned that MG42 now, so it wasn't a total waste. And in fact, that American bar squad just manages to get away, but they do drop a bar in the process, which I'm sure those Volksgrenadiers will snap up very greedily. But at least the MG42 is back in Nexus hands. That's what it really needs. I mean, this isn't totally game over now, though, for the Vermont player. I mean, he's managed to get his tier 2 up, which means that he can get his pack out, and, I mean, at least with some form of AT on the field, he's not going to get insta-owned by some sort of fast vehicle, fast tank, especially given that this is 2.601, and the pack is still slightly retarded with its 3 shots out of cloak. However, he is facing a significant anti-infantry force, and is still very much pinned in his base. He might have been able to take this point back, but ooh, it's another nade. Boom, takes out a couple of guys there, a couple of Volks, and the rifles are forced to retreat. But so ooh, he retreats into an MG, and snipers begin to pick these guys off. That rifle squad just managed to get away. Sniper might manage to land a killer blow here, maybe. Nope, he's going to focus on these rifles now, and see, they're just pinned down by the MG42. They aren't going anywhere, and they really, really need to retreat. Sniper picks one off. MG42 might be able to snatch another one. Nope, they just about managed to get away. So that was actually pretty nicely done by the Vermont player. You see, good sniper usage is helping him to keep the American player at bay. Now with 12 kills, very rapid kills racking up now, because he knows that if he allows his rifle squads to get pinned or suppressed, then he's just going to get picked off. It's going to be a massive manpower drain. That said, I don't think he's been drained of nearly as much manpower as the Vermont player has, although he has, however, managed to get a nice little foothold back on just the area outside his base. And of course, Vermont is all about, you know, living on a little, really. I mean, you can still come back as a Vermont player if you go for a sort of a tier 2 terror strategy. And still come out to win, even if you have very, very poor map control. And that was a strafe we just saw there on those 2 Volk squads. Neither squad gets totally annihilated, but it was still pretty painful. MG42 setting up. Flamers